Hi, my name is Jenny Lauren Dowden for Conduit News, and today we have House District 25 Republican primary candidate Jody Harris here to give us an update. Hey, good morning. Thanks
Good
for coming back
morning.
in.
Thanks for having me.
As you know, you are in the thick of it with early voting. There are still a lot of people out there who are either undecided or they have not voted yet. What would you want to say to them?
Well, I think there's a lot to be said about the contrast and differences between me and my opponent. In the last 10 years, you have to look at what has a person been doing. And what I've been doing is I've been building small businesses in our community here in Northwest Arkansas. I've been raising my family. I've got 4 very active public school children. I've been volunteering in their school. So I'm part of a great organization that was started recently in the fall called Moms for Liberty of Washington County. And I was part of the parental group who was advocating for our students' rights to not have to wear a mask. And even in the thick of that fight against unconstitutional mask mandates, we had teachers reaching out to us and asking us to fight on their behalf because they didn't want to have to face the retaliation by their employers, but they wanted somebody to advocate for them. And I was part of that. So I think the most important thing is that I will fight for students, I will fight for parents, and I will fight for our teachers. There is a lot of mental health burnout amongst our teachers and our students from the taxing 2 years that they've had in education. And I think it's really important that we solidify who the good teachers are who are willing to educate our kids and fight for them based on their learning needs. I think that's really a stark difference between me and my opponent.
Well, and you touched on this. You have a history, a record, if you will, of being there on the front lines, fighting for parental rights, being involved in other areas, active in you're on a few organizations regarding to help small businesses. Do you want to talk about that? And so, like, would you say to voters, like, hey, you can already see how I'm going to go to Little Rock and fight for you?
Absolutely. Because I am a small business owner, I have a lot of empathy for fellow small business owners. One of the things that's really been important to me is getting these businesses reopened and flourishing. District 25 is primarily made up of bedroom communities. These are small rural towns. And yeah, we connect into Fayetteville and Springdale, Arkansas, but the heart of small towns is small businesses, and getting those people reopened and flourishing is really important.
Speaking of small businesses, during this session, the Arkansas State Chamber of Commerce was at the Capitol really lobbying against a lot of things that were to protect personal liberties and freedoms that were not there to help small business owners. You're not, the state chamber has not given you any campaign money. They're not behind you, but they have donated to your opponent. In your district, where it's made up of just rural communities, a lot of those who were directly impacted and did not like what the state chamber was lobbying for at the Capitol, what would they maybe take from that donation to your opponent in that area?
Well, I think the biggest difference and the reason why they aren't supporting a candidate like me is because I am a true conservative and I have true conservative values. I have a lot of support from grassroots conservative organizations. And I have not taken contributions from groups because I'm buying into their agenda. Those groups are contributing to my campaign for state representative because they are bought into my conservative agenda to fight for students, to fight for small businesses, to fight for parental rights and things like that. When it comes to small businesses, I watched the state legislature for the last 2 years. We had both a senator and a representative that went in to session and voted to increase taxes on numerous occasions. They voted against government transparency. They voted against scholarships for disadvantaged children. One of our representatives even voted against returning the COVID fines to some of the small businesses. Right. That was not the right thing to do. If you're really going to support rural America and small businesses, the first thing you do is you return that money and you get them back on their feet, because these groups and these businesses have taken a beating in the last couple of years. And that's the whole point of why I started this campaign. And was led to run was because I want to fight for those people who are working in the trenches.
Okay, so we have a few days left. Election days we mentioned was May 24th. What do people need to know heading into the polls? What would you like to tell them?
Well, people need to know that I'm different. I am not the same establishment politician. I have never run for office before. I am a lifelong conservative Republican. I got into this for all the right reasons. I got into this because I saw what was happening in the state legislature and I didn't like it. And so if you don't like something, you need to work to try to change it. And there were no candidates stepping up to run against some of the establishment kind of moderate Republicans that were stopping legislation that improves our state. And so I decided to step up. I've given up 6 months of my life to campaign. This district is, as far as geography goes, it's huge. I put several thousand miles on my car traveling from Washington County to Crawford County, all the way down to Franklin County. I care about people. Many of the people that I've met in some of these towns are struggling still after the pandemic. And I want to go to Little Rock and fight for you. I want to go and fight for our teachers. I want to fight for our kids. And I want to fight for a better Arkansas. Voters have a whole week to get out and vote. You have a whole week to make your voice heard in District 25 and all across the state. So on May 24th, make your decision, vote for the true conservative, and vote for Jody Harris.
Awesome. Good luck on Tuesday.